When I went to college, my dad, I don't know where my dad was actually, but my mom and my stepfather were driving across the country. I think Rick had like a guest professorship somewhere in Pittsburgh or something. So they were driving across the country, and I think my brother must have driven me to the airport. So I had packed up my two huge bags to go to college for the year. And he drove me to the airport, and I got on the plane by myself, and I flew the plane all the way up to Oakland from San Diego. And I got off in Oakland, and I had to figure out like how to get on the BART. So I think I took the transfer bus to the BART, and I got on the BART. I figured out how to buy the ticket, and I didn't know what stop to get off at, but I was like, I'm going to UC Berkeley, so maybe I'll just get off at the Berkeley stop. So I got off at the Berkeley stop, had my two huge bags, took the escalator up, and I got off. And I just found the first person I could, and I was like, hey, do you know where UC Berkeley is? And they kind of like pointed up the hill, and I took my bags and I started walking. But what I didn't know at the time is that UC Berkeley is like a very large campus. So I went all the way up to the top, and unfortunately my dorm was actually not only at the top of campus, but then it was another like half mile to the south. So I had to like carry my bags, and by the time I got to Clark Kerr dorms, I was just so exhausted. The sweat was pouring down my face. And I just saw all these cars and all these families like with bags on the cars. It was almost like a movie scene, that you see in the movies where the families are unpacking and helping their kids. So I went to my room, and luckily I was rooming with my best friend Joel. And so I walked in the room, and I saw Joel immediately, and his parents were there, like unpacking, helping him put his toothbrush in the right place and so on and so forth. And they went, hi, hey, Mikko, how's it going? I was like, oh, hey, so good to see you. They're like, oh, and I'd started unpacking my bag and trying to figure out where to put my stuff. And, they asked me then like, oh, we're gonna go to dinner later tonight. Do you want to come with us? We're gonna go to Olive Garden. You can come. I was like, oh yeah, sure. That sounds great. And I'd actually had a lot of experience going with Joel's family, like on trips during soccer tournaments and so on and so forth. It was quite common for my family not to go on the trips and to send me with another family like Joel's. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is totally normal. I'll just go. And so it was nice. I had dinner, came back, slept. But the next day, I remember walking down. We didn't have cell phones at the time. So I didn't even know how to call my mom and my stepfather because they were driving across the country. They didn't have cell phones. I didn't know where my dad was. So the person I could call was my older brother, Arnie. So I remember I went to the payphone and I dialed up the number and I got him on the phone, and I just remember turning to the wall where the payphone was and I just started sobbing, crying and crying and crying. I was like, Arnie, I'm so lonely. I'm just so lonely. All these other kids, they've got their families here, like taking them in their rooms and helping them. And he listened. And then I just remember him saying to me it's okay, Mikko. It's okay to be lonely. It makes sense that you're lonely. And I want you to know that you can do hard things. You're going to be okay. You can call me anytime. I'm here for you. I'm sure once mom gets to where she's getting to, you can call her, but you can call me, and it's okay. You'll be all right. And I want you to know that, being lonely is a human condition. Everybody feels lonely at times. And hopefully when you have that feeling, you don't feel afraid to reach out to somebody. In this case, the person who I could reach out to was my brother. And even to this day, he is still a person that I reach out to when I'm experiencing difficulty or loneliness. He will pick up the phone and he will always reassure me that he is there for me and that I can trust him and that I will be okay. So I talk to him quite a bit. And, whether it's a parent or a sibling or a cousin or a friend or a partner, I hope that when you are feeling down, that you reach out to somebody else. Thanks.